Hello people and welcome to this new class in where we are gonna see the pen tool. Shortcut letter P. It is placed in this position in the main toolbar, and if I hit and hold, we find some other tools related with this main pen tool, like Add Anchor Point Tool, Delete Anchor Point Tool, and Convert Direction Point Tool. These last three are kind of different maneuvers related with the main tool, the pen tool. We will see all of them in this class. So let's hit the pen tool. Then one click on my page, another click, and I have my first line. If I continue clicking, I will generate a freeform shape which can be used in different ways. I can use it for my designs, I can use it as a path for my text. If I close it, it can be used as well as a clipping path to mask part of an image. Here I recommend you to read the description of this episode and you will find a deeper explanation about the common use cases. Anyways, once I am happy with the result of my path, then I have to hit the selection tool or use the shortcut V key. Then my path is already selected. I can move it and I can edit it. Remember that in this case, this path is just a stroke and we can modify this stroke. Let's make it thicker. We can change the color. And in case we want to edit this path, we just have to use the direct selection tool. Shortcut A key, I hover over my shape, one click, then the main thread and the anchor points pop up, and as we learned in the class related with the direct selection tool, we can hit and hold, for example, this anchor point and modify my path. Let's do the same with this one and with this. Here we are. Again, once finished, we have to hit the selection tool and then we can move our path. We can still edit the path using these other transformation tools. And finally, we can click outside and release our path. Let's now explore the other tools related with this pen tool. I'm talking about the one called Add Anchor Point Tool, Delete Anchor Point Tool, and Convert Direction Point Tool. So let's start modifying this path by adding a new anchor point. Pen tool, P key, click and hold, add anchor point tool. Then I place my mouse over my desired location and one click. And here we have a new anchor point. Now it is in blue color because it is selected. Then I hit the direct selection tool and I move it, creating a new shape in my path, right? Easy. On the contrary, if I wanna delete anchor points, I go again to the pen tool, delete anchor point tool, and I just have to hit the anchor point I wanna delete. For instance, this one, then let's delete this one as well, and this one as well. And of course, the shape of my path is changing. Let's go now with the fourth option, Convert Direction Point Tool. Thanks to this tool, I will change anchor points between soft points and corner points. Currently, my path is just based on corner points. But another feature of the pen tool is the ability to create curves. So using this path, if I hit this tool, Convert Direction Point Tool, and I go to this anchor point, for instance, I have just to click and drag, then the handles of the curve pop up, focus on the new thread generated by this tool, and when you are happy with the result, just release. And here we have a soft point instead of a corner point. Let's repeat the same action with this another corner point. Click and drag, then I play with the handles. I am always checking the new thread, and when I am happy, I release my mouse. And here we are. On the contrary, we can turn a soft point into a corner point. Let's do it. I have just to hover over the anchor point and click on it. And here we are. The soft point has become again a corner point. So once we have more or less clear how this tool works, let's jump to more difficult things. I have imported this image from my computer. It is attached with the course, so you can use it. And we will use it as a template in order to use the pen tool for drawing curves and straight lines in a more complex way. So first of all, I will select the image, right click, lock, shortcut Ctrl L, then pen tool, P key, I can adjust the thickness and the color from the very beginning. Let's say 3 points and color magenta. Then I'll go to the first point. This is a straight line, so one click, I hold Shift key in order to make the next line completely horizontal, 0 degrees. Second click, here we are. Then how we can make this semicircle? Here I should go to the middle point, right here, one click and drag. Then again Shift key to keep the handles horizontal, I adjust my thread to the curve and I release. Then my next point should be here, just one click and release. Again a straight line, Shift key and I repeat the same process. Click and drag, I open the handles, I release. Next click should be here, the curve will be tangent to the right handle and it will end in this end point I am marking right now, here. And repeat the process again, okay? When I am happy, Selection tool and I click outside. Let's go with the next curve. Pen tool, first click here, second click here and I click and drag. Shift key to make the handles horizontal. I release. Then next click should be here, right here in the middle of the curves. Next click here, click and drag, focus on the thread. I release. I continue doing exactly the same. I click and drag, I check the thread and always click and drag because I am working all the time with curves. So I need to open the handles. Click and drag and release. Click and drag and release. Once I am happy, selection tool, click outside. Okay, this one is super easy because it is based just on straight lines, right? So, pen tool, one click, second click, third click, fourth click, and so on. We don't have here to click and drag, otherwise we will generate a soft point, a curve, and we don't want that to happen this time. Okay, when I am happy, selection tool, click outside, and we start with the next curve. P key, first click here, second click here, and this time we have to click and drag, right? Because we want to generate a curve. I open my handles. When it matches with the curve, I release. The next part of the curve will be tangent to this right handle and it will end on the point I am marking right now, here. As far as I don't want this point to be a soft point, I just click on this point. I don't click and drag. Then next point, again, right here in the middle. Click and drag this time because we are working with curves. And next point here without dragging, just clicking. And we repeat the process over and over again. I strongly recommend you to practice a little bit doing these drawings because I know that it can be easy when I am doing it, but probably during the first times you will find some troubles. Anyways, remember that you don't have to do the curve perfectly at the first time because we have many tools to edit that curve afterwards. We can use the direct selection tool and then select the different anchor points and modify them. And we can use these other tools, add anchor point, delete anchor point or convert direction point tool in order to edit our curves. We are reaching the end of the class, but firstly, let's sum up the most important use cases. Firstly, we will use this tool for drawing. We can make here in InDesign amazing illustrations, almost as in Illustrator, because don't forget that here we have the ability to work with vectors as well. And we can change the stroke, the fill, the color, and so on. We can make curves. So this is the first possibility. Secondly, we can write text on the paths. This allows us to be very creative even with the text. Here we have an example in where I draw firstly a curve using the pen tool, and then I went to the text tool and I used type on a path tool. Of course, I can select my path and say I don't want a stroke none. The third use case is to create a freeform shape, closed, not just a stroke, and then play again with the stroke and with the fill. We have a lot of automatic shapes in InDesign, rectangles, ellipse, polygons, but thanks to this pen tool we can create freeform shapes. That is the difference. And that freeform shape can be used to mask a part of an image, right? This is what we call clipping paths. In this example, if I select it and I go in by clicking twice, we can see that we have an image inside the shape. So this is another very interesting possibility, which allows us to be very creative actually. In this class, I'll not go deeper into the explanation of how to do this, because we will have specific classes for the text, for the images, and so on. But I would like you to keep in mind a general view about what can you do with this powerful tool. Well, now it is time to say goodbye. I hope that you have enjoyed the class, and I'll see you in the next episode.